Parking brake released. Rotate. Flaps up. Gear up. Holding flight level 130. Gear down.
Testing. Testing. 1, 2. 1, 2. it appears as if we do have live audio on our microphone here, a little cheap Logitech. It's lasted me for about 3 years. Half of it's hanging off my head and half of it's on the other ear, barely hanging. So let's see if I can bring this baby down. We're going to Vancouver, British Columbia. Vancouver Island, they call it, Cyvr Airport, landing on 26 left. So bear with me, and hopefully I can get this bird down without too much of a problem. So just hang in there. Hang tough. Hang with me. Okay, I'm going to reduce my speed down to about 150 so that I won't overshoot the entire airport like I have been known to do. And still bringing her down to about 3,000 feet with the hope of getting picked up for an ILS landing on 26 left. We shall see. Mad Dog, if you're out there, let me give a shout out to you. You've been a great partner in crime for the last few years, the last 10 years, 10 or 12 years to be exact. And first in FSX and now...
Holding 3,000 feet.
Now in FS 2020. So let's keep on doing this. It's been a lot of fun. Couldn't have done it without you, buddy. I'm going to manually reduce speed to about 150 knots. There we go. It's coming on down. And as soon as I make the turn here at the NOXOB Noxob elbow, you see right here, then I will activate the ILS and try to bring this bird down without too much of a problem, without making a passenger sick. I don't have any flight attendants, so if someone gets really sick, I can't go back and clean up the mess. So I have to bring it down safely, and I have to bring it down sanely for that not to happen. Okay, here we go.
Flaps 30. Flaps 70. Flaps down.
Aircraft has begun to pitch, so that lets me know that I better get some flaps. Otherwise, I will stall out. And I've been known to do that too. And it's no fun, especially on a live stream when you're in front of millions of viewers, to stall your aircraft out. One thing worse than that is probably when your flight simulator crashes to desktop. That is not so much embarrassing, but incredibly frustrating. Okay, Mad Dog, I didn't send you the link to the video, and if you don't have any other important things to do in life, I would appreciate it if you came online here. Give us a shout out. This is my first live streaming session. Probably the last one, but it is certainly my first one, and I do realize there's a lot involved. And get some of this crosstalk out of here. Okay, there is a lot involved, but it's still a lot of fun. You know, we managed to keep the flavor of FSX and bring it over into Flight Simulator 2020, and it has worked flawlessly. And again, brother, I couldn't have done it without your help. Trust me. I'm trying out this new Velocity 1 flight yoke, and I am loving it. After about 3 weeks of pure hell it put me through, I'm finally beginning to enjoy it now. And I had to trade it in on my Logitech 3D, which I have been using for 10 or 12 years. I didn't actually trade it in, I kind of swapped it out, but I still have that flight stick available here with me in case something goes wrong mechanically with the Velocity 1 flight system. I don't expect that to happen, but shit happens, as we know. Alright, we are slowing down. I gotta try to keep it here at 150 to get across the threshold, otherwise I will stall out, because I know me, I'm not a good pilot. I just do this for fun. Nothing professional about it, thank goodness. The aircraft is empty, so if I crash, it's just me, people. Don't worry about the rest of the people. There's no one else but me. So if I crash this baby, that's on me. No other souls on board. Oops. Okay. Whoa. I guess I'm not good for multitasking. You must be able to multitask if you're a pilot, even though it's a desktop pilot. And I'm not very good at doing that. So please bear with me. If you notice a little bump when we land, it's because I don't know what I'm doing for the most part. Or if you notice a big loud thump, just reaffirming what I just said. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing this experimentally only, and just to see how my first video turns out. We are coming in now. 26 left on Vancouver International Airport. We just reached 500 feet on our call outs, and we're going in. Okay, slight flare. Reduce speed. Butter.
Rotate.
Butter. It's the damn taxiway, but that's okay. I come here quite often. I'll have a chance to do it next time. Boy, it really is nice to do videos without ATC. It is just so much fun. You just get such a great sense of freedom. No ATC, just play by your own rules. And right now, as in the past decade or so, I've been loving it. Really great way to fly. A lot of people say, well, you should play with ATC. That's the way the game was meant to be played. I bought this game with my money. I didn't ask for anyone else's money but mine. I play it the way that I wish. The game is set up to play it any way that you want to. And right now, I will, and in the future will be flying without ATC. It's a lot less restrictive. I don't fly by FAA rules. I just get out here and free fly, and it is so much fun. Very, very therapeutic to just get out here, fly, and have a good time. So that's what I am doing. So I'm going to halt right here, and
Parking brake set.
set my parking brake and see if I can set up something in the citation longitude for my next stop and final stop, which will be Seattle, Washington. SeaTac Airport. So let's see what I can do here if I remember this correctly. All right, you probably won't probably won't see this on the screen because I don't have my recording software set up exactly right, but I will enter the destination. I will insert, I will activate, and I will select runway 16 right, ILS. That's my favorite runway. Don't ask me why, but it is. Okay, excuse me, excuse the coughing. I do that a lot. Okay, gonna set my altitude just at about maybe 6,000 feet for this one. Okay, and we are going to go a cruise altitude of 6,000, and we're going to go a top speed of around 350 Mach. Okay. All right. Let's get over here and redo this. Okay. And I think we are ready to go. Okay, let me cut this warning light off. Excuse me. Terrible habit. Okay, now drop my flaps.
Flaps 70, flaps 30.
And here we go.
Parking brake released.
Okay, let's see if I can get this bad boy up into space.
Rotate.
She's telling me the rotation. That's makes it pretty easy for me.
Gear up.
Look at that boy. Look at that horizon. Isn't that beautiful? The Pacific Northwest to me is one of the most beautiful places in the United States to fly. I cannot stress that enough. It is a beautiful place to fly, and for those of you that have FSX and Flight Simulator 2020, you are going to enjoy this area because it is just awesome in its beauty.
Holding 6,000 feet.
Awesome in its beauty. You have mountains, you have rivers, and I love both of those in my flight simulating experience. I love mountains, I love rivers. And fortunately, Microsoft Flight Simulator does offer you a huge amount of eye candy, and that's one of the biggest reasons that I play it, because I love my eye candy. I must have my eye candy. It is imperative that I have my eye candy, and I get it too every time I come out. I always like to try to go to somewhere, picturesque and exciting, or if not exciting, at least picturesque. And I only fly jets. I don't fly the small craft. I fly the jets, either the 320 or this one for the most part. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, I'll slow this speed down a little bit. And I'm not going to drop my landing gear. No, I'm not going to do that. Please be quiet. Please, Microsoft, change that. I'm not ready to land yet. It's got a long way to go. Got around 100 miles to go before landing. I can pick up the speed a little bit, though. No one is looking. FAA regulations call for 250 knots when you're flying under 10,000 feet. Well, I'm going to crank that up just a tad bit, because this is just a little bit too slow for me. Excuse me. Plus, I have to crank it up so I can get out of here and feed my face. I'm going to go to my nearest greasy spoon for a hamburger, or 2 or 3, or maybe 4. I want to dedicate this video to my grandson. He is a he is going to be a YouTube force to be reckoned with in the next 5 or 6 years, maybe even less. Right now he is finding his niche, and he loves to do stop motion animation. You will see his name out here, and I will tell you I told you so. I'm not, due to privacy restrictions, I will not mention his name, but you know who I'm talking about, grandson. I love you dearly, and I will see you out here in the next 4 or 5 years doing, or less, doing your own content. So, enough of that. Let's sit back and enjoy the flight. Okay, the ILS frequency for 16 right is 110.75. There we go. Now that will get us on the glide slope if we take care of our business in the proper manner. Okay, excuse me once again. Currently we are around 90 miles from SeaTac Airport in Seattle, Washington, but it's one of my favorite places to go for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. I have been doing this for the better part of 10 years, 12 years, give or take a few, and it's a huge part of my video gaming experience. I did have a short interruption about 3 years ago with American Truck Simulator. That game took my life by storm and took me away from my joystick entirely. But then one thing led to another, and eventually I made my way back to Flight Simulator 2020, and I love it immensely. Not the easiest game to get into for new pilots, but there are a lot of video tutorials out there at YouTube University. Back when I first started flight simulation, there were a few, but not like there are now. There are videos on every conceivable area of navigation for the desktop pilot, whether you want to fly free and easy like me, or whether you want complete full natural weather, ATC, FAA rules, strictly flying by FAA rules. That's your option. The game can be played anyway. And like I said before, you made the purchase. I made the purchase. You play the game like you want it, not like someone else tells you to play it. But the options are endless with this game, and I love it. Okay, we're around 65 nautical miles out from Seattle, SeaTac Airport, and we will, as we get a little bit closer and make our bend, here's our bend right here. If you look at the primary flight display, we are following this track here. We are going to bend at Agane. We're going to bend there and head toward 16 right. When we make this bend, or just around the time we get ready to make this bend, there will be a beautiful shot of downtown Seattle. Maybe you can see the Space Needle, maybe not. Located roughly around in this area here. Beautiful shot of downtown Seattle once we get to that first elbow. Hopefully I can get it for you. I'm not really good with this camera stuff and streaming, but hopefully hopefully you'll get a shot of the city. As you can see, it is 7:30 a.m. make-believe time. Make-believe time because there's the real-time button there. I want to make-believe time because I love to fly in sunrise and sunset conditions, dusk and dawn. Not too much of a night flyer. I like the challenge that night flying presents, but I just hate, for the most part, to look out of the window and see nothing. I'm as much of a passenger as I am a pilot when I play this game. In fact, maybe even more of a passenger than I am a pilot. That's just the way I am. That's the way I roll. Beautiful scenery. Look at that. Oh, I guess I could give you some external views. Make things a little bit more interesting. Look at that. That's me. Look at that. That's me, all by myself, not bothering a soul. Not a soul in the sky right now except me. 7:30 in the morning, local time, make-believe time. And everyone's getting up, getting ready to go to work. Me, I'm just kind of flying around enjoying my free time. Okay, there is... Okay, that is... Okay, I was thinking that wasn't a UFO, but that is actually... That is not a UFO. That is... artificial intelligence, the AI aircraft. One thing about this game I don't like, you do not really see the aircraft of the players that are in your game or of the AI aircraft unless you are really, really close, like about to hit someone. So right now I know that's a plane. All I can see is a flicker of light, but I wish that the game creators would do a lot more improvement as far as the actual size of the aircraft in relation to the distance. You can land yourself on the runway and watch another plane come in, and you will see in multiplayer, you will see his name tag, but you will not see his aircraft until he's almost ready to hit you. In the old game, FSX Microsoft Flight Simulator 10 by comparison, you can see the full aircraft from a long way off, just like you do at a real airport. You don't get that same sensation here, and that's one of the things I don't like about it. All you see is a little blip or a little dot until the player or the AI gets right next to you, virtually right next to you. Then you can begin to see what he's flying. If I had other players in this game right now, you would see their nameplates, name labels only, not the aircraft. I'm talking about when you're relatively close. You don't expect to see them at a distance, but when you're relatively close, you do expect to see and be able to identify the aircraft of the person that is nearby. You cannot see that in this game. I wish Microsoft would work on that, because they pride themselves on eye candy and scenery, which is good, and I love it. But they don't give you that close-up detail of the aircraft that you really need to make the experience more believable, in my opinion. Okay, we're closing in. We're 20 miles from that elbow, the downtown area I was telling you about. So I think it would be wise for me right now to begin my descent down to about to 500. And probably it's not a bad idea to reduce my speed so that I won't go completely past the downtown area without giving you a truly picturesque view. And yes, let me drop my landing gear because this idiot will not leave me alone. Okay, be quiet, thank you. And I'll give
Flaps
myself
70.
1 degree of flap. Oh, that's a little bit too much.
Flaps 30, gear down.
We're going to drop down to 250 knots and cruise into this airport successfully. You can see the nose of my plane, right? You probably can't see it in this video because I have the software that I'm using does not show the full screen like I had intended. So I'll do that. Maybe you can see it now. Um, that's my aircraft. Duh. That's the path that I'm traveling. And right when we get to that little elbow right there, you will probably see the beautiful shot of downtown Seattle when I go to the external view. I don't even know if you can see my mouse. No, you can't see the mouse. But anyway, you zoom in very close. That's where we're heading.
Holding 2,500 feet.
Okay, if you look to the distance to the right here, there is downtown Seattle, that area that I was telling you about. It's a beautiful area. I've been out there on a couple of occasions. Beautiful city. It's a little bit cloudy. That's what people don't like about it, but other than that, the air is pure. The city is beautiful, very picturesque, very scenic, and that's the downtown area that I was telling you about. That's yours truly again from the outside. I have my own personal camera to the left of my aircraft. My own personal drone camera. And everybody in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 has their own particular drone camera. That's a straight-in view, and if over here to the right, see if I can zoom in, you will see that's it. That is downtown Seattle. If I can set this up here, isn't that pretty? Nice, isn't it? Wow. Look at that. I'm impressed. That's why I say as much a pilot as I am passenger as I am a pilot with this game. Now I'm getting ready to make that turn I was telling you about, and I'm heading on final approach. So let me jump back inside the cockpit, slow this puppy down. All right. You can see off in the distance here, that is SeaTac Airport. Those are the three runways at SeaTac Airport running north and south. I will be landing on the one on the right, 16 right, 16 right is where I'm going to be landing. I don't screw this thing up terribly, so bear with me and I will have you down and you will get off the plane and enjoy your family, go to your destination.
Flaps 70, flaps down.
And hopefully I will do that safely. Look at that view, boy. It's one of my favorite views. I need to set that up, set my software up so that you can see that. But that's me. Slowly descending into SeaTac Airport. Hope you can see that. I doubt if you can, but I hope you can see that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Good thing I came back on the inside. I was about ready to stall out. That's what happens when you do too much sightseeing. Okay, now As I get closer and closer to the airport, I'm about to get picked up on the ILS, the instrument landing approach. Once I do that, the plane will begin to descend automatically until I get about maybe 300 feet above the runway, at which point I will take it over manually and try my best to bring everyone home safely. Look at that. Oh my gosh. The runway I'm going to land
Glide
on
slope.
is the one on the right. It may not look like it now. Looks like I'm going toward the center, but trust me, I'm going to eventually end up on the right side. This is where I focus. This is where I close my mouth. I close my trap. I zip it. I shut up and I focus. Try to bring the bird home. Trying to nudge my way over. You see, I'm trying to work it over just a little bit to the right. That's the actually the localizer equipment on the runway that's trying to center the aircraft. It's going to do a pretty good job of it, because if it was left up to me, I would probably land somewhere in the middle in the open field somewhere. But with the aid of technology and aviation, it's going to center me on the runway to the right. Okay. Try to bring her down now. 500 feet, get her under control. Got a little wind, a little slight cross breeze. I can feel it. Whoa, come on now.
Rotate.
It wasn't too bad. Not too bad. I've had better. That was a little rocky. Yeah, it was a bit rocky. Just a tad bit rocky. I'll try to get off on this taxiway here and put all of my one viewer out of misery by ending the video. As you can see, the airport is pretty vacant right now. That's because I have all my graphic settings reduced, so there's virtually no traffic. So that I do that in order to try to get 30 frames per second, because I do have a mid-level computer. I have an El Cheapo computer, so to speak. I don't have a water-cooled system. like some of the 4K fellows have, so I have to reduce my graphics tremendously. That's why I have an empty airport. You may see a bit of traffic or so, but one or two cars or trucks go by, but for the most part, there's a couple of planes over there, but for the most part, this airport is strictly hustle and bustle.
Flaps 70, flaps 30, flaps up.
And you don't see any of that hustle and bustle right now because of the traffic, the fact that I eliminated that. That's the only thing I hate about it. If I had been a little bit more generous with my purchase, I might have been able to afford a system that generates 4K, and I can do like some of the other YouTubers who have airports full of traffic and cars and people walking around and everything, and the system handles it perfectly. Not the case with mine. If you watch my videos, you will get the El Cheapo, the stream down version of what the game looks like on some of the more advanced computer systems. But that being said, you can still have a whale of a time with this game with a modest system and a lot of patience. I'm going to try to park somewhere over here with the big fellas. And we'll just stick it over here somewhere. That's good. We'll find a place for it. Nope, not that one, buddy. Got to come over one more. Okay, this looks like a safe spot here to park. We don't need the jetway, just everybody get off.
Parking brake set.
There we
Flaps
go.
30.
So, I appreciate your support, all one of you, in helping me get through this video. Hopefully there will be more to come in the weeks and months ahead. That's all I have for right now. Good night.